Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Opposite the Monitor, and today we're going to get into Modern Warfare 3 and people completely disliking it being review bombed. It was made in just 16 months. It's crazy, and it's supposed to be DLC information, as well as we're going to get into some more stuff. But yeah, man, starting with Call of Duty, it took me a while to just kind of like get into the mindset of talking about Call of Duty again because I'm so tired and over Call of Duty and Activision. And I continuously keep saying the antics will not stop just because Microsoft owns Activision. It will continue and forever be a perpetual type of, process that they have. And once again, they're over here messing up gaming, and we're going to get into it today. So Modern Warfare 3 was created in just 16 months. And yeah, man, it's ridiculous. That's the least I can say about it, I guess. On top of it being review bomb, they just removed a lot of maps and stuff like that because of terrible spawns, which we all know Call of Duty has had terrible spawns for decades at this point now. Spawns have never been good. Unless they've just gotten extremely worse. I haven't played Modern Warfare 3, and I refuse to play any other Modern Warfare or any other Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2. I'm done with the franchise altogether, but I have to talk about this because it's something that's happening in gaming at the moment, or have already happened by the time this video releases. But they go on to say in a report from Bloomberg, explains that the current situation is that it sheds light on Call of Duty's development timeline, revealing that Sledgehammer Games was given a mere 16-month period to complete this title. Ridiculous. And it gets even worse. The report confirms that many employees at Sledgehammer Games were led to believe that they were working on a premium expansion for Modern Warfare 2. I wonder who could have led them on this thought process, this path to think that it was Modern Warfare 2 that they were still working on, which would have made sense. It would have made more sense to just do an expansion, a premium expansion, charge people $40, for it. That is what I was saying before. Go back to map packs. Just go back to that. Go back to map packs. Go back to, if you're going to do some story expansion, go back to that. Because the only thing you've done at this point now have just pissed everybody off for no reason. And all it sounds like is administration and people who are not developers, people who are not gamers, getting their hands all into the mix. They probably just heard some updated, metrics from their strategists and the marketing team or whatever like that, saying, hey, if we do this, we could probably capitalize on this, given the fact that our our metrics are saying that, the gamers would, are enjoying Modern Warfare 2 right now. And this is prime time to charge them more. So this is what you should do. And this is what my statistics show and all this other shit. And it's just like, it's just terrible thought process, and it doesn't work. Obviously it doesn't work, and it didn't work. And they're just moving forward with it. They're just moving forward with it. There've already been reports of people refunding their games and stuff like that. It's just getting to the point now, man, where it's like, if you're playing Call of Duty at this point and you're not a hardcore Call of Duty fan, like you're not someone who's just gonna buy Call of Duty for the sake of just buying Call of Duty because that's just what they've always done. If you're just one of them ones that's like, you game, but you're not necessarily like a Call of Duty fanboy, please reevaluate your purchase decisions. Please sit back and just think, what benefits do I get from purchasing this piece of shit? Like, what benefits do I get from just putting money into the hands of people who have fucked me over multiple times? Just sit back and just think about that. Just sit back and think about that just for a moment, just for a solitary moment. And if the answer is you get no benefit out of this, please stop playing this. This shit makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. And if you continue to encourage and condone this behavior, it will continue to perpetuate and live as a virus within inside of the gaming industry. And nobody wants that. Moving on. They go on to say that at first, the developer worked on a campaign in Mexico, hoping to create a spinoff based on the Modern Warfare franchise. However, these plans were abandoned a few months later when the studio was asked to create a new entry for the series involving the villain Makarov. once again, administration's putting their hands in the mix of the creative process, and then changing up shit halfway, and then creating crunch, and then stressing out developers, and then releasing a turd. It just doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I'm going to say it again. It doesn't make sense. But moving on. Ultimately, this led to confusion and anger among the developers. Many claimed that they were told Modern Warfare 3 was meant to be an expansion, while others said this was open for interpretation during the early parts of development. You don't even have the confusion in which administration causes amongst even developers. Don't even like it. Developers hated the process of this. They've gotten so big to the point to where it's like they don't even think about or care about the next move that they make. It's like, no, we're going to do this. Nope, no, we're not. We're going to do this, and we're doing it this way, and this is how it is. It's like we've already spent 3 or 4 months already in the development process for this, and we were going under the interpretation that this is being attached to the previous game, and it's like, no, we need to be able to capitalize and get $70 off of this next game. We're not doing DLCs because it doesn't make money. Same thing I said with Overwatch. We're not putting PvE story mode into a multiplayer game that's meant to sell skin packs and shit because it doesn't make money. And money is at the root of all of this shit. It's at the root of all of this. And it doesn't make any sense to continue to encourage this type of behavior. So I opt out of it, which is my own personal choice. I encourage other people to reevaluate their purchase decisions. But yeah, it's just getting ridiculous at the point, man. It's like, man, like, why even engage in this? Like, Call of Duty is going to end up being, or has already become, NBA 2K, Madden. It's going to be that, and it already has become that. And what's going to end up happening is they're just going to run this into the ground. The only thing they have going for it, the only thing they have going for Call of Duty is the campaign. Without the campaign, there wouldn't be too much difference between each Call of Duty game. Slight differences in game modes, but for the most part, and guns and stuff, the gun mechanics all work the same. It just depends on whether or not you're playing in a modern era, or you're playing in the World War II era, or you're playing in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't change fundamentally. It doesn't change. So what's going to end up happening is like, this is going to end up being Call of Duty. I mean, this is going to end up being NBA 2K. This is going to end up being Madden. And then, we're only going to be left with the hopes that EA can get Battlefield back into a better spot, which Battlefield 2042 is starting to look a little bit better to me now. I'm not so much so to the point to where I'm willing to buy it. They've destroyed that goodwill with me. I have to buy the next game. I have to see what the next game looks like in order for me to buy the next game. But, we only have, this is going to end up making Call of Duty fall into that realm of this is the same shit every year. And this is why Call of Duty doesn't need to be an annual release. I don't agree with the fact that Call of Duty has to be an annual release. I think Call of Duty probably should go to the format of like Assassin's Creed, where you drop it like once every 3 years type of shit, or like once every 2 years, but stop actually give it a 3-year break. Like, develop Modern Warfare 2, make Modern Warfare 2 as expansive as you possibly can, and have people just play that until support ends for Modern Warfare. When support ends for Modern Warfare 2, that's when you start working on the next game, or that's when you have the next game, ready to go. Like, don't have two Call of Duties coming out back to back behind each other and shit like that. Like, this was the biggest break we've got from Call of Duty, and you just, you shit the bed instead of just making it a DLC, a premium expansion like the original plan was. So it's like, it's it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It's asinine to even just try to like, pull this off and then thinking that it's going to go over well with gamers. But it's just like, no, it's not finna work. That's not how that works. It's not going to happen like that. But that's basically all I have to say about this, man. Like, it's Activision Blizzard, man. It's nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change unless they just get rid of every top level executive that is in that particular branch of Xbox now, Microsoft. So, that's, you have to completely just radically change the development process for Call of Duty for it to be substantially different again, to where you can kind of like revive it. Cause that's how it was with the original Modern Warfare. Like Modern Warfare, when the reboot came out, it substantially made a difference to how Call of Duty looked as well as played. And you just completely ran this entire trilogy into the ground. You just ran it right into the ground. And it's just like, you didn't even have to do that. Modern Warfare 2 came out, and Modern Warfare 2 was a good Modern Warfare, like a good sequel, as far as the campaign and stuff like that. Of course, eventually Activision destroys the multiplayer over time, especially like the multiplayer got so terrible they started throwing Nicki Minaj and shit into the game, and it's just like, this isn't like, what is this? Like, we had you had the same complaints about the stuff that happens in Battlefield, which, I mean, granted, Battlefield is always touted to be like a more realistic type of like, like grounded shooter or whatever. And like, acting like a Call of Duty is more so like the arcadey side of things. But Modern Warfare was giving the impression of a more like grounded, realistic type of modern shooter. And Activision just destroys the multiplayer so bad. You destroyed the multiplayer so bad, people stopped playing DMZ, and DMZ died off. And then modern Warzone was also destroyed. And then you also got like cheaters and all this other shit. And it's just like, I know they were trying to like combat it and everything like that, but it's like, you prioritize trying to do skin packs and battle passes and all this other shit over like specific components within your game that can create a sense of longevity. Like, people wouldn't mind playing Modern Warfare 2 longer if you did substantial patches and fixes to the game to prevent certain things from happening, as well as like when they do patches, 200 fucking gig patches that are just mainly just content drop, like mainly just, content for the battle pass. That's most of what the patch is. That ends up breaking other things in the game. And then it's like, or we're just gonna like patch that later, and then that patch breaks something else because you have this bloated ass game of just nothing but like skins and, store items and all this other stuff. And it just doesn't make any sense. So it's just like, people would play games longer if they had a, like if there was like an incentive to kind of like, want to play these longer. If you just completely got rid of the annual releases, or like this was the longest type of break we had from Call of Duty, but just to get rid of the annual releases, stop trying to rush development, make different games, make something else. Like, Call of Duty is your big head, is your, like, the top of the list. Make a different game, make a completely different game. You have Activision Blizzard. Activision has access to other titles that are outside of Call of Duty. Make that shit, or make a completely brand new IP. Make something different. Make something completely different. And then you drop those titles, but you drop those titles while you're making the new Call of Duty. And then you have called, like, I get it. Not everybody has the luxury of Rockstar to be able to just like take 15 to 16 years to make a completely new Grand Theft Auto, But Activision Blizzard is just as big as Rockstar to be able to put Call of Duty on ice until they can make it, until they can get it to a specific point to where it's like, okay, when we drop Call of Duty, it's going to be a massive event, and we plan on working on this particular Call of Duty for the next maybe 5 to 8 years. It's already a live service. We plan on making this Call of Duty last about 5 to 8 years. In the meantime, people can play Call of Duty 2. I mean, people can play Modern Warfare 2 for 5 to 8 years or whatever like that. And then Activision will be dropping other games. And then we could purchase this game. We could purchase this game. You can make a different type of shooter. You know, it doesn't even have to be part of the Call of Duty franchise. And then you just make this like all hands on deck type of thing when you know people are expecting a new Call of Duty. You can make this all hands on deck. When you don't do that, this is the type of shit you get. This is what you get right here. Half-ass type of like, we're rushing this, we're crunching developers, we're putting people under pressure, we're making people work weekends, we're making people work long nights, all this other stuff, and you just end up dropping a turd, and now everybody's pissed. Everybody's pissed. The gamers are pissed, the consumers are pissed, media's pissed, developers are pissed, everybody's mad. And it's just like, what was the reason for this? Why? So you can capitalize on money that you already have? Like, come on, this shit is getting out of control at this point. It's just getting ridiculous. But moving on, though, we got some more information. GTA 6 trailer officially announced for early December. Knew this was coming. I mean, there's a bunch of leaks of gameplay and stuff. So, I mean, like, of course a trailer was going to come. But they, kind of like a confirmation of this. They, posted on Twitter. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Thank you, Sam Hauser. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm excited about the inevitable. Knew it was going to be another Grand Theft Auto game, just like pretty sure it's going to be another Red Dead Redemption game, Like, these are just the two games that Rockstar works on. It'd be nice. I mean, well, it is going to be nice when we get those Max Payne remakes. I am excited for that in conjunction with Remedy. But I kind of figured this was coming. They won't. I don't know what it is, but they won't reboot Bully. They won't do that. But they're just focused on what makes money, which makes sense. But I mean, yeah, I'm excited, man. I've seen a lot of different like new patents and stuff that they've acquired and stuff for like realistic movement from the characters and enabling that kind of technology into the game and stuff. So I'm pretty sure, and I if I'm not mistaken, this one is going to be on a completely different engine, so it's going to be, I mean, graphic wise, it's going to be pretty regardless. I feel sorry for, I don't feel sorry for PC, but I guess PC players are like me are definitely going to go ahead and get some top of the line GPUs for this one. But I'm excited though. I'm excited for the new Grand Theft Auto, man. And it's, like I wish Rockstar could just teach Activision how to release Call of Duty like this. Just teach Activision how to do this, cause it's like, man, like anytime like Rockstar has garnered up so much goodwill to the point where it's like, if people don't care, granted, this is probably the longest it's been between Grand Theft Auto titles, but people don't care how long it takes Rockstar to make these games. They know the game is going to come out, and when it comes out, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be something worth sinking years into, like decades. Like it's going to be a wild ride. And this is where Activision needs to try to get, because Call of Duty has just as much history, if not more, than Grand Theft Auto does. And this is my thing. It's like, having the type of process that Rockstar has allows them to be able to put so much polish and so much like optimization, so much content into that game that no one cares how long it takes for them to make the next Grand Theft Auto game. Nobody cares about that. And that's where that's where Call of Duty, I think, in my opinion, should be at. You should be focused on, since Call of Duty is the top selling game coming out of Activision, most likely coming out of Xbox, Microsoft at this point now. You should want to make that the masterpiece that it should be, which should amount to a longer development cycle. And it doesn't, and then you end up tarnishing the name of Call of Duty. You end up ruining Call of Duty. You know, and you end up making it for like, you know, gamers like me was just like, nah, I'd rather play like a indie first person shooter that, you know, is a little bit, you know, not as polished, but I don't have to worry about the bullshit that Activision puts in their games. You know, granted, you know, this GTA may actually have a little bit more bullshit in it. And when I mean bullshit, I mean like, you know, shark cards and subscription plans, you know, and putting, you know, specific types of, like, putting content behind a subscription. Because just believe GTA Plus is going to be tied to this game. Believe that. Especially since they acquired the whole, I can't remember now, but they acquired the two companies that make the most popular RP servers for GTA. I would not be surprised if they put the RP, like they put the RP expansion behind a GTA Plus subscription. Subscribe to this, and then you get access to this. You get access to that. You get access to this. I would not be surprised about that. So there are negatives that come with Rockstar, but at least Rockstar is going to make a top of the line game worth the $70 price tag. They're going to make that. If that game is going to come out and sell and do records. Just like Red Dead Redemption 2 did. Just like GTA 5 did. They're you know, when it comes for hit games, they're one-to-one. They're not striking out. So I mean, I'm excited for this, man, you know, and it's also supposed to be the trailer's supposed to be releasing on the 25th anniversary, which makes sense as to why they would push it back that, you know, to December or to the end of November, I guess. So, you know, it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be nice. I'm excited for it, man. Or December, I guess. I'm excited for it, man. And man, GTA 6 is coming. GTA 6 is coming, and I'm ready for it. But moving on though, we got some more information. You know, it's going this year, if I had to say, is definitely going to be like, you know, it's a big year, man. Big year for gaming. But new Mass Effect game teased for in 7 days, which already happened. At this point, trailer's already been released. One thing this trailer doesn't really tell you anything. Really, all it does is just show a character in the N7, you know, clothing and everything like that. No face, no anything like that. You know, a new protagonist. If they're going to go with the, you know, same formula that they had previously, where it doesn't matter what gender you make or what kind of character you create or whatever like that, the name's always going to be Shepard. So, you know, I'm assuming that they would want to go with that and not have to deal with the whole Andromeda situation again, because Andromeda was terrible. Even though some people are divided on it. Some people think that Andromeda wasn't that bad. No, Andromeda was god awful. Story was terrible, but filled with bugs. It was just not good. Like, you know, and that could have also been contributed to the fact that you know, that was the first multiplayer entry into it. You know, it had like multiplayer and stuff like that. I don't even think Mass Effect needed that. You know, Mass Effect has always been like a single player RPG, you know, and that's what they need to delve into. BioWare needs a resurgence. BioWare has been asleep at the wheel for I don't know how long. No one talks about BioWare anymore other than when people leave the company, you know, and it's just, you know, it's terrible type of situation. But I mean, you know, Mass Effect is like a juggernaut of RPG, you know, it's a juggernaut of a sci-fi RPG at that, which is hard to do sometimes. As you can tell with like Starfield. But you know, I mean, I want Mass Effect to come back again, but part of me is just like, if they don't do good with Dragon Age, then this game is gonna be terrible. This game is gonna be awful. Because Dragon Age is unless they just get completely different developers to just like work on Mass Effect. Because I'm pretty sure Dragon Age is coming out before Mass Effect. I think what they should do is, especially too, they should just like either not touch Mass Effect or just reboot the entire franchise. Just reboot it. You know. Get rid of like certain elements and stuff like that, craft it on a new engine, have a completely different development team do it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if I would not be surprised if Dragon Age comes out, and if Dragon Age comes out and it's terrible, I would not be surprised that EA will gobble up BioWare and there'll be no BioWare no more, and they'll push the development of Mass Effect off to a completely different company or to a completely different development company. And then those developers will kind of like, you know, switch it up and rewrite how Mass Effect is supposed to work. You know, and if that scenario was to happen, I actually wouldn't mind Respawn getting a hold of Mass Effect and trying their hand at Mass Effect. They do pretty good with the Star Wars franchise, you know. I mean, the Jedi franchise is very much so like, I would say it is an RPG, but not too in depth. Mass Effect will be a big project for them because Mass Effect is very much so an in depth RPG. There's a lot of moving parts that go with Mass Effect. So I mean, you know, and I would like to see Respawn get a hand at that. But I don't know, man. I don't have any faith in BioWare. But like I said, if you know, unless you know Dragon Age ends up being really good, then if Dragon Age ends up being really good and they've been able to find their way back to their roots with Dragon Age, I probably have a little bit more faith in BioWare to handle, you know, Mass Effect. This is just my personal opinion, but you know, I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle of the road a little bit with it. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to go to this side or the other side. You know, I don't know if I want to cross it just yet. Because I just don't have faith in BioWare, and they've just been asleep at the wheel for so long, and stuff like that. And it's just like they've had countless, you know, creative directors and developers leave and stuff, and it's just like, you know, I have no faith. They'd have to legit make Dragon Age like look really good, you know. They'd have to do some wondrous stuff with that. But yeah, man, I don't know if I'm excited for this or not. I don't know yet. I don't know, because I actually really do like Mass Effect, and I don't know whether or not I can get excited about BioWare making Mass Effect again. Like I kind of want to see somebody else touch it. I kind of want to see somebody else do it. Somebody else that's at EA. But yeah. Those are just my own personal opinions with it, though, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Mass Effect at the moment right now. But I mean, it is exciting to kind of get a tease, I guess. Not really much. I mean, it's just somebody walking in N7 clothing down a hallway with a pistol, with a pistol. So I mean, just like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. But moving on, though, we got some more information. Resident Evil creator claims mods are no different from cheating. It just sounds like another bad take, you know. So they go on to say that a few days ago, the Capcom R&D YouTube channel posted a new video outlining its internal recommendations for anti-cheating and anti-piracy measures on PCs. Among this list of recommendations is the company's stance on mods, claiming that user creations are no different from cheating when it comes to how they negatively impact a specific game. What? No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. They go on to say that Capcom's exact words are, all mods are defined as cheats except when they are officially supported. So all mods are cheats except for when you do the shit. If the modifications are made by Capcom themselves, it's not cheating. It's not cheating. It's officially supported. It's officially supported software, and it's not cheats. Wait, what? That doesn't make any damn sense. the one of the like cherries on top is the last bit at the bottom that I'll get to, but they go on to say that and that what they are doing internally is no different than cheating. It goes on to say that if users publish mods with offensive content can be detrimental to the company's or franchise's reputation. For example, if someone were to publish a scandalous Resident Evil mod, it might cause users to view Capcom differently, thinking the mod was official. No, I'm pretty sure people who play Resident Evil games know for a fact that, you know, Claire Redfield isn't supposed to be running around in underwear or bikini. You know, slaying zombies in a bikini with a grenade launcher. Like, that shit doesn't make any sense. Like, see, this is what I be like. Sometimes you just don't have to say shit. Sometimes you could just shut the fuck up. Sometimes you could just be completely silent. You don't have to put anything out on the internet or out in the sphere for people to just read. Like, look, I know there are some dumb people in the world that would think that, you know, why is Capcom out here objectifying women and and all this other shit. And then it's just like, no, bro, like most people have a little bit of common sense to be like, I've played enough Resident Evil games, even if I haven't played the originals. I've played enough of the remakes to know that, yeah, Claire Redfield doesn't run around in bikinis and underwear and scantily clad, you know, promiscuous clothing. You know what I'm saying? That's not how the game released. So, yeah, I don't know. What? The R&D team at Capcom needs to just do R&D. Just do that. Don't have a YouTube channel posting shit that don't make sense. So they go on to say that in this particular article, which is the cherry on top of this for me, is that said, it's a bit weird to be lumping mods and cheating together, especially when so many of Capcom's titles are primarily single-player games where mods don't affect the competitive balance. Exactly. What Resident Evil game you know has a multiplayer component outside of that one the Umbrella Corpse game that nobody played? That game is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of your games are single player. So what cheating is there going on? Unless, like, what you talking about, like people cheating in the story, or like you need to explain, what do you mean by cheating? This is what I'm saying. It's like you're just saying shit you're just out here just putting shit out here, and it's just like, wait, what? I don't even know. Me personally, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I came across this because I saw Resident Evil. I don't even know why I'm wasting my breath talking about this shit. It doesn't make any sense, but here I am, and I guess it could be entertaining, I guess. I don't know, but it just, yeah, when I hear ridiculous talking points, it boggles my mind. I'm just sitting back like, wait, what? What? None of this makes sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense. Like, just no, no, just stop it. Just stop it. I think it's just because it was a slow news week and stuff like that. It's just like, no, just be quiet. Don't say anything else. You know, no, stop it. But yeah, you know, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think people are that dumb, number one. Number two, cheating has nothing to do with most of the Capcom games, because most of the games are single player anyways. So, and when you give Resident Evil as a specific type of example, there are no multiplayer aspects to Resident Evil for the most part. Like, there are none. I don't even think we ever go, whatever happened to that one multiplayer like shooter where you get to play as all the characters and stuff like that? Wasn't that what was that called? RE something or whatever like that? That shit that never released, where it was supposed to be released. Did that ever release? I don't even know if that released or not. So I was like, wait, what? You're talking about shit that don't even exist. Like, come on, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But, you know, moving on though, I'm finna move on from this because I'm tired of talking about it. Last thing I got today, man, is Warner Brothers says it's focused on transforming its biggest franchises into service games, as if that's going to make things better. Oh my God. Like, this just, it doesn't make any sense to me, man, to just like, here's the funny thing, right? Sony came out and said that they're canceling most of their live service titles because they want to put quality over quantity. They realize that, hey, the industry is changing a little bit after, you know what I mean? To me personally, I think it's too late to come to that realization. But they realize that, we don't need to be trying to capitalize on all these live service titles because, live service is going down the shitter. Maybe we should actually focus on specific types of games and then putting a lot of money and time and effort and development and quality behind those games. For instance, like Marathon, which I'm pretty sure they're going to be putting a lot of backing into that because I would assume that Marathon would probably lead the charge for their cloud service that they're trying to develop as well. I think I would, if I had to bet money on it, I would bet that Marathon is going to be the first. After that game comes out, it'll be the first game that you can probably get on that new cloud service that Sony is working on for PlayStation. So this is the complete inverse. This is the complete opposite. They want to actually transform all of their biggest franchises into live service games as if that is going to help. It didn't. Did you not learn from the gameplay trailer that you dropped on the Suicide Squad before? No, that game was announced as a live service and it looked like shit. It looked terrible. But you want to capitalize on that. Why? I don't understand that. Why are you doubling down on ignorance? It doesn't make sense. It legit makes no sense whatsoever at all. And I'm just like, for what? For what? So they go on to say that, speaking during the company's latest earnings call, Zaslav discussed plans to transform franchises like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, DC, which is mainly Batman today, and Mortal Kombat, which he sees as individual billion-dollar gaming franchises into service games. He goes on to say in his article, our focus is on transforming our biggest franchises from largely console and PC based with 3-4 year release schedules to include more always on gameplay through live services, multi-platform and free-to-play extensions with the goal to have more players spending more time on more platforms. Hey, at least he's being honest. At least he's being honest and being like, look, we just want you to be on this bitch long enough to spend a shit ton of money. That is it. It goes on to say that ultimately we want to drive engagement and monetization of longer cycles at higher levels. We have specific capabilities. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate post-purchase revenue. Oh my God. It is so nice to hear the quiet part out loud. This shit here is prime example of do not buy, stay away. Like if any other live service game has ever come out and you sunk so much time into the bullshit, this is the thought process that they think behind the scenes when they just tell you we're just making a game for our community, our fan base, and we want to deliver the best kind of game possible to our community. Like, this is the truth behind the lie, behind that particular lie. Like, it's so crazy, but I love it though. I love the honesty. If one thing I will always say about David Zaslav is that at least he's honest about the intentions that he sets out to kind of like, practice. He's honest about his intentions, but it's not going to go well. It's as history has shown, live service games don't do that well and they don't last that long. They're a waste of time. Essentially, you have a better chance of just making expansions or, in Call of Duty's instance, map packs. That's it. You have a better chance of extending the longevity of your game if you do it that way. Instead of trying to put battle passes up every 60 days and force people to try to grind that shit out or spend money on a 200 tier battle pass. It just doesn't make it it doesn't work. People will the only people you'll get there that will be hardcore fans, which they were going to play the game regardless. So it's just it's redundant in my opinion. It's redundant. It doesn't make sense and it shouldn't even be attempted any further. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. If you like the content, make sure you like the video. If you like all the stuff that I do, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. I will continue to try to find some of the, topics that, I like and dislike. This one was kind of more like a rant a little bit because it's just, oh man, it's just so much nonsense that just happened. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be more nonsense coming in the future. So thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you guys for the support. Continue to like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, man. And I will see you guys next week. Take it easy.